So thanks for joining this episode of The Blade Boys. I'm Ted Flett,
And I'm at Das.
and I am practically gonna combust. So we're gonna talk now about the ladies' event at Skate Canada.
Ooh.
Ashley. Holy smokes. Girl came ready to rumble. Bad start at the Japan Open. And shows up in Lethbridge, and I figure if you're gonna go to Lethbridge, Alberta, might as well win the damn whatever you're there to do. You might as well win it.
It's about the only thing worth doing.
Yeah, because you're not going sending postcards and souvenir shopping and all that stuff. Well, maybe you would, but no disrespect to Lethbridge.
We love
the fine people of Alberta.
Just get shot there if we ever have like worlds at Lethbridge.
How did Lethbridge vote? How did Lethbridge vote in the federal election? We need to know that.
Probably not as good as they should have voted.
Probably.
Whatever.
Okay.
Anyways,
back to Ashley. Holy moly. Okay, starting off with the short program. Myth, that short program, it's a tour de force. It's amazing. She does not stop. She sells every note of that salsa. It's like, I want to take a nacho and dip it in that salsa. It is so authentic and sincere. Like, she is killing it. Okay, what'd you think? I'll stop talking.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Bo. I mean, that was some, Caitlin Osmond knows how to mambo, but Ashley Wagner. I mean, I gotta say this first and foremost because we always say this at Blade Boy. The haters gonna hate, but the skaters gonna skate. And shame on all of you people who keep saying that Ashley Wagner is done. She even says in her Kiss and Cry, "Don't give up on me." Okay, she knows what's up. She knows that there are people who are like, "Oh, Ashley, U.S. champion. She's done. She's old. She's through. Whatever." Girl just nailed a triple combination. Not even on home ice, so you can't even be like, "Oh, well, it was like home ice and the text." She got a clean short program. She got over 70 points for a personal best in her short program. She got over 200 points overall for the first time ever. And yeah, Miss Thing took out the current world champion. So catch that dirt, okay? Ashley Wagner laid it down, and she laid it down hard, and she has put herself in contention to get to the Grand Prix final. She's going to have a hard time at NHK against Satoko and Mao and some other great skaters there. But here she showed... I
think at this point, she's going to have a hard time not making the Grand Prix final.
We don't want to jinx it, though.
But surely the confidence that she is riding, we saw Caitlin Osmond totally
Right, and we'll get to that. But
anyways, it could happen. She could totally, choke, but I'm not envisioning it. Okay, first of all, let's break down that short program. It was amazing. She never stopped, rocking and rolling the whole time. Personally, I think she borrowed the costume from Marissa Castelli, which came out on Twitter. I'm happy to report. I knew that from the second she stepped foot on the ice. I was like, she's tight with Marissa Castelli. That's the program she wore in 2014 in Sochi. Yeah. It's got that big, bright silver strip down the back. I'm like, see it? Which Mirai Nagasu also wore practically the same thing, also in 2014. A little nod to Mithra Mirai. Yeah. So I do think she needs to. She looked good in the dress. It's just that everyone knew it's like she's wearing someone else's dress. I think she needs something that's more appropriately salsa. However, if Adelina Sotnikova comes out with this super fringed salsa, number, which is kind of the traditional thing to wear, maybe if Ashley sticks with this plain black dress and is just with her LBD, maybe she'll stand out in terms of costuming for the short. I also loved how in the long she's pairing. Okay, girl, you got red hair now. So you can't be wearing a bright red dress, so you're going to look like Jessica Rabbit.
Moulin Rouge, right?
So she, heavy on the rouge. She's now got an appropriate, hued white dress, which still got lots of bling, lots of bedazzle going, or sort of off-white dress. I liked it. I also liked some of the details that, so she did go and apparently worked with Shailene Bourne to update and change the program a little bit so it doesn't scream last year's program, which it did at the Japan Open. So little things like she used to open it with this, And
Oh
now she's
yeah.
doing like the ooh ooh, like she's got this
Right.
going on.
She,
I'm like,
yeah.
as soon as she
The
did that,
Hindi
like
Sad
on the lunch,
Diamonds thing. She's getting.
I was like goosebumps. I was like, oh, I'm loving this program already. She hasn't even done anything yet. So yeah, like okay, you totally called it the naysayers myth. I from time to time am an Ashley Wagner naysayer. It's true. I
I got
really,
faith. I
really,
got
really
faith.
like Gracie Gold.
Yes.
But I tell you, if Ashley keeps up like this,
And
Nationals is gonna be a humdinger.
their score was like less than 310. Like Gracie's performance at Skate America and Ashley's performance here was separated by like less than a point. Like it was, we're splitting hairs, like and like hairs that have been like heavily dyed. Like that is how like and that goes for both of them.
Oh yeah.
But Ashley laid it down, and I am so proud of her. I think there are still moments to be critical of her performances. I think there are still moments that in her free skate that she could incorporate more transitions. She took out like I love that little spiral leg up right before her double axel, but she does have some nice little movements. It's weird. She is getting a lot more emotional into the program this year. I think she's really getting the angsty side of Moulin Rouge, whereas last year she was all about like empowered female, but now she's really getting more into the storyline, and even though it is the same program, I think her interpretation is a different take, and as you said with Miss Shaylin Bourne helping you out with that, it's gonna lead to good things. But congratulations to Ashley, especially as I said earlier, she took out the current world champion Elisabetta Turktamisheva, and Elisabetta, this was her, like all eyes were on her because, reigning world champion, she had an amazing season last year, like a dream season, a dream comeback season that any skater would kill for. And she comes out in her short program and it ends up being a real flop. It kind of reminded me of like Mal's short program from Sochi, like with the doubling and with like the triple like it didn't pan out. And I mean I'm pretty sure the triple axel was intended to be a double axel, right? Like it was like it was clear that it probably wasn't working, and the strategy was to keep it as a double axel, but it was not her best short program. And her free program, I mean, she brought back.
Hey, wait, can we just talk about the short program?
Yes.
Like her component scores, the judges like slaughtered her. I think some of them were like barely above a 5. Like she got below 6 on some of that stuff. Like that is not world champion caliber. Like,
but you know what? Her programs, like the judges, like I said earlier in some of our other recaps, the judges are finally calling people out. Like,
and they should. I mean, there's nothing between those elements. It's crosscuts.
Yes,
it's crosscuts.
It is crosscuts
and intense arms
and I'm sorry to say this. This sounds like a thing, but like this is Alexei Mishin like coaching 101. Like this is like, oh my God, you're a world champion now. So why do you need to like put content in? As long as you go clean with the hardest elements, then you're going to be granted the victory. And the judges are thankfully being like, no, you need to like actually incorporate content, and you need to incorporate good choreography. I think Liza needs to work on her spins. I think she definitely needs to work on her in-betweens. Her jumps are definitely her best quality. Like they still look strong. In her free skate, she still pulled out a fabulous triple. And in the short program, I mean, it was a slight issue with it, but like it's got to be about more than the jumps. And I think this competition proved that Ashley didn't just out-jump Liza in the short program; she also outskated her, like overall. And Ashley, her program isn't even the most complex either. But it shows that she was into the program and she was into the interpretation, and she was selling it. Like even if Ashley hadn't
selling it like rent was due.
Yeah, she was selling it like, and well, with the Moulin Rouge thing, they work hard for their money. Okay, let me tell you. But
just kidding, Ashley.
Just kidding, Ashley. Girl, she will own that. Okay, she does. She doesn't even have to worry about it. She loves it. She loves it. But yes. Liza, like please, like you need to get content into your program.
Yeah, I mean, and this is what bugs me. It's like Machine is like, wash, rinse, repeat. Like, hey Liza, this worked for Evgeny Plushenko. It still works for Evgeny Plushenko somehow. Like
Well,
year after
he
year,
landed the
we're
jumps.
now at the point of like decade after decade, and it's like, oh, don't do this to ladies skating. Like, do not wreck a skater with
Right.
this horrendous choreography on 2 feet and cross cuts
Oh,
and
it's
this
just,
like bizarre arm movements. Like, yeah, it's really unfortunate.
it's so sad.
She had, she and the costuming was also like, it
She's
just
so much
doesn't.
more talented than this.
She
Like
looks
it's
like Cruella. She looks like Cruella Deville to me in that this like high the collar. It's like I would
it's
toss that. I would honestly, I'd toss the short altogether, get rid of it, and
I'm
come up
gonna
with something that's like light, animated, comical, something.
like when Mao did I've Got Rhythm, like I
Yeah,
like stuff like that, like just completely turn around. Like I like
and
Liza is a
Mouse,
very
yeah,
talented skater, and she's been around for a while, so she know it's kind of like Plushenko. Plushenko know like if you look at his footwork and like he knows how to skate, but you have to bring that to the rest of the program because this isn't the 90s, this isn't the 80s anymore, like early 2000s. We're in the code of point system where like complete skating is what's rewarded, and I'm so pleased with the judges for not just giving her the marks just because I even think in her free skate they were still a little bit generous like with the marks. But I mean beyond that, like I feel like we're being very harsh on Elizaveta because it's really important that as a world champion you have to like you have to own that and you have to really show people I am world champ. Like when Duhamel and Radford became world champions, they didn't just like develop pro quadlettes and stuff like that. They actually worked on their artistry, their connection. They made sure that just because we're world champions, we're not going to just assume the judges are going to give us those component scores. Not that I'm saying that's what like Eliza is doing, assuming that, but it's coming across this way when you're having a program that's devoid of like intricate choreography and you're really making it about the jumps. And as it's like it worked for Plushenko because he landed the jumps. He's like one of the best jumpers, if not the best jumpers of all time, and especially in terms of consistency. So he could afford to like, especially the time that he skated, he could afford to like really not necessarily put as much effort into the transitions and choreography
yeah,
because
but it's yeah,
but
it's figure
when you're
skating. It's not figure jumping. So
exactly but like
yeah.
when you're Liza and you're not even getting the jumps off right, it completely falls flat. And this like I hope Machine isn't telling her, "Oh, you lost because you didn't do the jumps. We need to get the triple axel back in the short program because that's it's not about that. It's about the program." And she shows great animation and great commitment in her step sequences, and I would love to see her bring that to the rest of the programs and definitely try some like different versions of music. I think it's too late this year because her programs are already set out, but like next year and leading up to the Olympics, she really needs to distinguish herself.
Especially, yeah,
Yeah.
especially if she's going up against the Americans, the way they're looking, and Mao. It was really tough to watch her get her scores. I mean, Elizaveta, we've seen her skate well, when she sort of launched onto the scene in 2011, 2012. We've seen her struggle. She's usually just very stone-faced and very stoic. You could see that she was holding back tears once those marks came up.
Understandably. Yeah.
So we're kind of looking to talk to her, and she was just like, "Stop talking! Don't engage with me! I'm gonna burst!" Like that was tough to watch. But what a difference the day makes! She came back much stronger the next day. I mean,
Yes.
I'm not mesmerized by her long program skate. Maybe I will be as time goes on.
But jumps wise, it was the jumps were bad.
Jumps wise, it was all there, and it showed that okay, she's there, and this is this is the first season where she skated as the reigning world champion. She's got the return of a legend to contend with in Mao Asada. She's got the return of the Olympic champion, one of her teammates, to contend with, and she's Russian, and you can't assume anything when you're Russian. I mean, the world team, depending on what unfolds over the coming months, conceivably the world team could exclude her. I mean, you don't know.
Well, and it has in the past.
Given.
She was supposed to be a shoo-in for the Olympic team in Sochi, and that was not a given. And she did not make the Olympic team. And like you never know when there's such a deep Russian field, and now when you add like skaters like Medvedeva to the mix, like this is it's it's going to be a lot of pressure on her this season. But one thing, like, Mishin has probably stripped some of the choreography from her program, and that's a detriment. But one thing he is great at is getting his skaters in the zone. Like, he knows how to just get them in that competitive mindset. And let's be honest, Eliza still came second, so she can easily make the Grand Prix final by winning or coming second at her next event. So this is not a she's out of it thing. This is not a people. Some people are like, oh, the sky is falling. Oh, Eliza, she's done or whatever. I'm like, she just did a free program where she hit all her jumps except for the triple axel, which was fully rotated in just a step out. Like, she is not done by any means, but she needs to make her programs more complete. She needs to get her spins better. Like, I think some of the positions in her spins are just not quite committed and not as flexible as some of the other girls. But
and they're not flattering. And she also needs to dish the gloves. I'm sorry.
Oh, the gloves. Yeah. But okay, you know what? You know what, Eliza, like, this was still a good debut for her, especially with that free program, and a great comeback from that short program. And we still love you, and we still think you have all the goods to continue to be world champion, even though Mao's back, right? Like, it's you still have the technical goods, and as somebody who loves a great jumper as well, I still think you have what it takes to continue to make the world team and continue to push for the Olympics. But you need to improve your progress.
All right, Myth. There's
more skaters.
Are you done? Are you done your love fest with Elizaveta Tuktamasheva? As if she's watching this. I don't even know. Does the girl speak English? Does she understand English? I'm not sure.
Oh yeah.
That you might have wasted. You might have wasted.
She understands gold. She doesn't understand. She's like, what's this silver-looking thing on my neck?
yeah. One ding.
Not quite a Saria Bonnelly.
There are 3 rungs on the. There's 3 rungs on the podium. Trying to move us along. Of course, another bloody strong Japanese skater. I know that you had another love fest here. Talk to me about the Japanese skater in third, man.
Well, yes, Miss Yuka Nagai. She was a junior skater last year. She wasn't even one of the top junior skaters, but she surprised everyone with this wonderful Grand Prix debut, and she capitalized on the fact that she is a strong jumper. She did her triple H triple toe in her short program.
And it was a doozy.
Oh my god.
She almost went through the boards.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't quite pull a Midori, but it was a great it was a great skate. And again, with a lot of the other girls other than Wagner struggling in the short program, she set herself up for a podium finish, which she managed to obtain. So yeah, good for her on coming third, and I think she kind of established herself as a potential medalist at Japanese nationals. I think it's going to be tricky, but she'll have a lot of competition, particularly.
Not the best season. Not the best season, of course, as a Japanese skater to skate to Miss Saigon in a purple dress. I was like, ooh, it's lucky that's the short, not the long, because that would not stand out against Mao Asada. But I actually thought it was a pretty lovely program, and she skated a short quite well. So moving through the murakami. Our girl from Canada, Gabrielle. Oh, sorry, you want to talk about Kanako Murakami?
Yes, and I think I just want to touch on her because I think she's the most adorable thing in the history of the world. I feel if I ever have a bad day, I just want a little pocket Kanako to pull out and just have her skate for me, and then I'll feel better. I don't know. She just has this way of sort of lighting up my life. But
she does, except when she's skating to Phantom of the Opera. Okay. Not once, but twice.
Yeah, okay, but it's a new season. Okay, we're not gonna. We won't. But
have we turned the page? I'm not sure I've turned the page.
Unfortunately, she's still getting nailed with under rotations, and it's still a struggle for her. But I feel like she's one generous tech specialist away from winning a competition or a harsh tech specialist away from being off the podium. So. It's going to be hard for her, but she had a great win at 4 continents, and hopefully she can replicate that in the future. I'm so glad she hasn't retired because she is one of my favorite skaters. I think she is very underrated, but good for her for still making fourth is nothing to shake a stick at. So good for her.
And myth, the ladies event, the Canadian ladies event at Canadian Nationals has just gotten that much more interesting yet again because there were two, very favored Canadian women at Skate Canada International with Gabrielle Damon, the current Canadian champion, and with the return of Caitlin Osmond. Of course, Caitlin tanked and Gabby surged, and hasn't that just sort of changed the dynamic in terms of the landscape of Canadian ladies skating? So Gabrielle had like a spectacular skate, landed just a raft of triples, got her triple combination. I'm talking about the free skate where she got her act together, and I was really impressed with the name of the music, which is escaping me now, but you know it. It's Maria. Da, da, da. Anyways, it's Argentinian.
Yeah, it's the Piazzolla medley.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Piazzolla medley.
It's got chutzpah. It's fiery. It's appropriate for her. It's not like, I know she really wants to show this kind of, or at least it seemed last season she wanted to show a slightly softer side. She is such an aggressive, fast-paced skater that, if she can be elegant and smooth within just a real fiery, dynamic program, all the better, because I just think it suits her, and this program suits her so much more. I think the costuming is also bold and dramatic. It's spot on. She's got that continued sort of, when she just like barrels into her jumps, I'm still not certain that she's going to land them, but she did this time, and they looked quite solid. I was really impressed with how she skated, and now how that sort of sets up the Canadian Nationals between herself, Elaine, and of course Caitlin. What did you think of Gabby's skate?
I thought her short program, she had some issues. She had her downgrade on her triple Lutz, triple toe, and then she messed up her flip. But her long program was great. She landed 6 triples. She got a personal best in the free skate. And actually, like, she was only a couple points off of bronze. Like sometimes, like, going for the triple-double in your short program, like, if you're not able to do the triple-triple, like, getting the triple-double in there, like, might actually get you more points. Ashley could have beaten Gracie at Worlds a couple years ago had she done a triple-double instead of attempting the triple-triple and then under-rotating it. So, but regardless, Gabby still killed it in the long program, and I think she should be really, really proud of herself. And after some struggles last year, especially at Worlds, this is something that she can be very proud of and something that she can use moving forward and give herself confidence going throughout the season. She was 3rd in the free skate. That's a huge achievement for her, and to be only a couple points off the podium, I'm sure she's like kicking herself, being like, oh, like, why didn't I just go for the double, or why didn't I hit my flip in my short program? But you can't really look at stuff retrospectively like that. You have to like look at the fact that you put out a clean a close to clean performance in your free program, and that was a great comeback from an otherwise dicey short. So good for Gabby, and hopefully she can continue that momentum at her next Grand Prix, which is Trophée Eric Bompard, where you're going to be, so you're going to get to actually see her in action. So we'll see how Gabby does at that point.
Yeah, particularly now that she's aligned herself with Brian Orso. He seems to have that golden touch on a lot of skaters, and so that could be a real asset for Gabby. Paulina Edmonds of the United States was also at Skate Canada International. I wonder if she should just abandon the triple flip in the free skate altogether. That, I think it's her second triple flip, or I think she attempts 2. Maybe it's just 1. She just does not seem able to land the flip in the free skate. It takes her down every time and mars what would be sort of a generally clean skate. She had some under rotations, I think, happening in the free skate. But I think this Gone with the Wind vehicle is really appropriate. It seems to fit with her quite well, and hopefully she can gain some momentum with it to try and claim that 3rd spot on the U.S. team as the season unfolds. I know that in the short program she was had a bit of a beef with the judges' scores on one of her spins for sure.
Yeah, her sit spin, like the issue was that she didn't get into the sit position and she didn't maintain it, and you have to maintain your sit position in 90 degrees. So she felt that, the judges were quite harsh with her about that. And I'm like, Polina, the judges are to be feared. So don't mess. You can always protest, but like, don't mess with them too much because, then they're gonna nail you with 400 rotations in your free skate, right?
Well, yeah, and she's not an Alva Stoico yet. She's not like a Yuna Kim. Like you're still trying to arrive. Like don't bite the hand that has yet to feed you.
Exactly. So I think the programs are good vehicles for her, and Gone with the Wind is a lot less like fairy like and and a little bit more mature for her. So I think those are strong vehicles for her going forward. But she's gonna have to be a lot more consistent. Her triple H triple toe was nice. So she
always is.
Yeah, she can have. I agree with you about the second flip. It seems to be giving her issues. She has sorted out the edge call on it, which is great. I mean, she landed it in the shore program without an issue. So that's progress, right? So that's always nice to see. But she's going to need to be a lot more consistent and really nail the rotations on her jumps moving forward if she really wants to be one of those other Americans to watch out for. Because there's like some great ones like Karen Chen coming, and like even up and comers like Vivian Lee. Like she's going to have some stiff competition and.
And Courtney Hicks, Mariah Nagasu, the list goes on. I mean, the list goes on and on. There's no shortage. I mean, one slip by U.S. lady, and that's a big. Next.
One other skater I wanted to quickly touch on was Elizabeth Tursunbayeva from Kazakhstan. Only because like she had a disastrous short program, but had an amazing free program where she landed 7 triples. Unfortunately, she didn't put the Lutz in a combo, but who cares about that? Like. She had the best, technically speaking, in terms of like successful elements. She had the best free skates. So I just wanted to give her a little kudos to her and Brian Orser for that. I'm sure he managed to get her in a mindset to come back from that kind of disastrous short program. And speaking of disastrous short programs, we have to talk about Caitlin Osman, and we want to keep this short because. Like, this is probably something Caitlin wants to, like, get out of the way. I mean, it's so unfortunate that fall that she had on her flying spin in her short program because she had the best minute that, she's ever had with her gorgeous triple flip, triple toe, gorgeous triple Lutz. And then to, like, have that, like, she definitely put the drop in death drop because, like, that was a very nasty fall, and it clearly shook her up for the subsequent double axel, which, again, like, It's as much as people want to falter for like falling on something as easy as a double axel. When you have such a like nightmarish,
I think it winded her.
It totally winded her, and then you're not prepared for that. I mean, I'm sure she's hit that. She's never done that on that spin like ever, or so it's certainly not in competition. So it definitely.
I mean, it's funny.
Took the wind out of her sails.
Well, I mean. Yeah, we're making a big deal about how Ashley Wagner took down a world champion. If that had not happened, we could very easily be talking right now about how Caitlin Osmond took down a world champion and the U.S. champion. And the first 45, 50 seconds, whatever it was, of that short program was phenomenal. I mean, the triple flip, triple toe looks fully rotated, high, strong.
Oh, yeah, it's huge.
Yeah,
I think the judges were ready, and people might have called home inflation or whatever, but like I think the judges would have been ready to give her 70 points, and it would have been deserved because she does have a very fun, complex program. I shouldn't say fun; it's kind of like a more sophisticated, complex program. She's done fun short programs.
It's beautiful. Lance Vipond. Done a beautiful program.
Lance Vipond,
which is a real departure from what she usually skates to. And then, unfortunately, the problems she just couldn't shake them like Elizaveta did in the free skate. I guess that's the difference between a world champion like Lisa and Caitlin, who's still learning the ropes. The problems seeped into her free skate and more falls than I have seen by a skater in a long time. I think Alyssa Cisney, when she went to the 2012 Worlds, it's sort of similar in terms of just could not stay on her feet. I mean, I give Caitlin credit that she was constantly going. She was rotating. She was trying to get 3 rotations every time she barreled into a jump.
She started throwing herself into those jumps, and even though she was clearly off axis, and I think she was actually injured in practices prior, like something with her ankle or whatever. But like, regardless, like or even the fall in her short program might have affected her. I mean, kudos to going out and skating, but that was not the free skate she wanted. I mean, fly falls, that's the most disaster. Like, I think back to also Alain Chartrand, like at Skate America, and I'm like, God, these are like the two most disastrous free skates these skaters have ever experienced. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they bounce back from it. I think they will. My heart goes out to Caitlin because it seems she just like can't catch a break. Like, it's just with her injury, and then like I hope this isn't an exacerbated injury. Like she was so poised to like come back. And
the Grand Prix series and Caitlin are just not destined to to get along. But I think
it's like maybe she'll pull a Dennis 10 then. We'll see.
Could be. Yeah. What's interesting about the three women is like Aline, they've all had highs and lows. Like Aline Chartrand was in second at Nebelhorn Trophy after the short program with a very, very glorious skate, short program skate. Caitlin Osmond, of course, was first in the short program with some problems, and then, of course, won Nebelhorn. Aline had the disastrous skate at Skate America. Caitlin's now had a disastrous skate at Skate Canada. Gabrielle had a really bad opening at, I can't remember if it was Andrzej Nepal or at Finlandia, but she didn't get off to a great start.
And now she had a good short program, but at Andrzej Nepal, and here she didn't have a good short program, but... Yeah,
but she had a strong. So I mean, they're all showing inconsistencies and taking their time to get their feet underneath them. But we'll see what happens with each of their next placements, and then towards Canadian Nationals. Lots to debrief as we continue on through the Grand Prix series, but thanks so much for tuning into this episode. Don't forget to comment on what you like or perhaps didn't like about what we talked about, what you agree with, what you don't agree with. Hopefully you'll agree with me and disagree with Myth. And follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and email us any old time you like. Thanks so much for watching. Again, I'm Ted Flett.
And I'm Myth Das. And these are the Blade Boys signing off.
Thanks, everyone.